Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. Thank you for joining me. Here's the latest about the nuclear disaster that they had after the earthquake in 2011 in Japan. The Onagawa nuclear power plant, they're planning on restarting possibly in 2022 or 2023. And for the Fukushima nuclear power plant that went into meltdown, they are considering using divers in the cleanup. Now, even though the Onagawa reactor, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, was closer to the earthquake, in March of 2011, here's the location of that nuclear power plant, and here's Fukushima. The Onagawa nuclear power plant managed to keep at least one power line connected so it didn't go down, into meltdown. Whereas it was different for the Fukushima power plant. It lost all power, and even its backup generators were flooded. Now, the Onagawa power plant, it was flooded too. The basement was flooded, and they have decided that Unit 1 will not go back online. Part of the agreement to get this nuclear power plant back online is to build a flood wall. On May 4th, there was an article on worldnuclearnews.org and showing an image of this nuclear power plant. Part of the agreement to get it restarted is to build a 29-meter high wall, and that would be about 95 feet high, and to be 800 meters long. They have to build the seawall to protect the plant from tsunamis. The upgrades that were supposed to be done by April 2017 have now been pushed back to March of next year. Even though the upgrades are not completed, the mayors of different towns, I'm sure under political pressure, have given the okay for the restart. So the wall they're going to build to protect it for a tsunami is about 2,600 feet. And I got in yellow 2,600 feet. And, well, actually about 2,511 feet. But as you can see here, that would not be long enough to protect this area where this nuclear power plant sits from a tsunami. Even if I put it, well, let's say from here, we'll come over to 2,600 feet. Right there. That's still not wide enough to protect it from a tsunami. Let's put it closer to where the plant is at. That's still not going to be wide enough. Where they just going to, the waves could still come up and around and inundate this power plant. I think basically the only thing that saved this nuclear power plant from a meltdown was the fact at least one of 3 power lines that went to the facility stayed intact, and that the fact that it was a couple meters up higher than possibly Fukushima. I'm not exactly sure, but there's Fukushima. Let me zoom into that for you. It was actually set back farther inland. These buildings here you can see here. Now this is from March of 2019. These are the facilities that they're working, and it's going to take decades to clean up the nuclear mess. And like I said, now they're talking about bringing in divers to go down and clean up the nuclear material. Here it says the Onagawa plant was the closest nuclear plant to the epicenter of the earthquake and tsunami of March 11, 2011, but sustained far less damage than expected. Oh, and I was wrong about the power lines. The earthquake knocked out 4 of the 5 plant's external power lines, but the remaining one line, provided sufficient power for its 3 boiling water power plants to be brought to cold shutdown. This power plant is exactly the same as the Fukushima nuclear power plant, a boiling water reactor, BWR. The plant was largely unaffected by the tsunami as it sits on an elevated embankment more than 14 meters above sea level. So that would be about 45 feet 11 inches. So maybe it was a little bit higher than Fukushima. But the basement floors of Unit 2 were flooded. But Unit 1, they're not going to restart. Says they already decided to decommission Unit 1 at the plant. And this, again, is from May 4th of this year. How in the world can they give permission for a restart for work that still has not been completed and inspected? And like I said, the seawall that they're going to build is definitely not, in my opinion, definitely not big enough, long enough to protect the facility. So what are your thoughts? Please put your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.